Hello, hello, hello. Shooting His Relief Podcast, episode number 2. Admitting, I'm here with
Trevor.
I'm here with Corey. So today we're just gonna be talking about some bullet points of admitting. And our first bullet point is what is mental health. And this definition is coming off of Wikipedia. It says mental health is often mistaken with the absence of mental illness. However, mental health refers to a person's overall emotion, psychological, and social well-being. That's
it.
That's what it is. And mental health illness is referred to the diagnosis conditions such as depression, anxiety disorder, or schizophrenia that disrupt a person's thoughts, mood, behavior, or functions. So Trevor, what you think? What is your definition of mental health?
Everything you described, for sure. But I think mental health is just it's just the opposite of your physical, well-being. It's the things that keep you strong or weak, but just mentally. So your emotions, your feelings, all those things, and mental health isn't a bad thing. It's just like your physical health. You say that to someone, people think, oh, you're working out, you're at the gym. That's all they think about. They don't think you not doing well physically.
Exactly.
So I think it's just all of it's a spectrum. It's like you either good or great, never
great. And the same for as mental health illness.
Absolutely. For the illness part, illness is just like physical illness. Someone could have like a deformity or something wrong with their body. So yeah, it's just all that stuff.
Corey, what is mental health to you? You can just put it in your. This is uncut and unraw. Whatever you think, man. You don't gotta try to go into your booklets or your college, whatever you think.
This no, exactly what y'all saying though. It's just whatever that's not physical, what you go through mentally in your mind, what you fight every day. You know what I'm saying? That's what I look at it as, you know what I'm saying? It could be anything, like bro said, people don't like their bodies, it could just be anything. It's just what you go through, mentally, like what people don't see. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that's why I say it is.
The same thing as with illness.
Yeah. They don't even gotta be necessarily don't even see, because people can still see it and know that, you know what I'm saying? But, it's your own, how you intake in your mind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I think for my behalf on mental health, I just think mental health is just so deep and so broad. Like, it can come from different angles: physical, emotion, trauma, different disorders as in illnesses, as like we all deal with it. And that's what we think, mental health and mental health illness are. And it can be so broad and untalked about, so as we here today talking about mental health and mental health illness within the men, as in men, it's not talked about. So on our next bullet point, as of the title is as in admitting that we deal with mental health illness. I feel as though I know I can admit that I deal with mental health because as young as being a 31-year-old male, I can just tell of just my mood swings changing, just from when I was young, how I was raised, different traumas that I dealt with as a childhood, growing up in the inner city in Norfolk, living in, cities, poverty-stricken environments, and just seeing different things in different neighborhoods and bad neighborhoods, from seeing fights, from seeing people get beat up, from seeing people get shot at, from seeing people get shot, and that seeing that at a young age, that kind of really put a stamping in my mental and just going through my mind from different times. And some people would say that don't come from certain environments, would say, I never heard shootings in my area.
Yeah.
I never seen nobody get shot. You know what I'm saying? I just barely even seen dogs fighting each other. So it comes with different parts in life and different areas in life, and
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your upbringing, things you talk about, do you think that made you mentally like stronger or like, you know, like weaker, like just in dealing with certain situations as an adult?
That's a good question. It kind of made me stronger.
Yeah.
It kind of made me stronger because I seen it. I've been through it, you know. So, and it's not always good,
Right.
but like you know how they say, I went through that, and I can go through anything.
Sure.
But sometimes it comes with a double-edged sword. Like, why do I don't want to have, I didn't want to have to go through that.
Yeah.
Why did I go through that?
Mm-hmm.
Just to say that, you know, I'm strong, it made me who I am.
That's
you know
an important thing, saying
Yeah.
like, why did I go through this, you know?
Yeah.
Why did I go through this?
And Trevor, what you think? Would you admit? Is you admitting?
Well, I'm gonna say, I mean, there are definitely things you go through growing up that make you stronger when you think back about it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, you're like, why did I go through this? Why did it happen to me? It could be something like, you mentioned, you know, dogs, you know, pets or things like that. It's like you could have lost, you know, a pet you 10 years old,
Exactly.
and then that shaped like you're like, oh, I can't even get another dog.
Exactly.
People don't think about that, but that's like, you know, everyone's had a dog. Or like I know someone that had a dog. So
Something
like,
so small.
It's
It
exactly.
could be. It doesn't have to be something on a grand scale. And sorry for cutting you off.
You're okay.
On the grand scale, as like I said, me seeing somebody get shot.
Yeah.
It can just be something small, but it's
happens.
not belittling what
No,
you.
It's not. It's not. It's
Because
like, it matters to that person. If that was the hardest thing they went through, that's hard for them. So they gotta find a way to get past it emotionally, and mature from that. And you know, like you said, you went through things when you were a child. It's like that is important to happen as a child because it's like it just builds you for later on. You don't want to experience your first like traumatic or tough thing when you like 18 years old. Like it's like because you don't know how to deal with it. You don't have the, you know, whatever.
And it's like I said, mental health does not have a face. It does not have an age. It does not have a background. It does not. It can come from anything.
Sure.
Anything. Corey, what about you, man? Are you admitting today? Trevor admitted, are you admitting today?
That didn't happen to me, by the way, about the dog, but I'm just, you know, I know from friends that, you know, it's like, but I didn't have a dog growing up. I have family members and people that did, and it was just, it was hard to understand that, like, I never lost, like, a pet, so.
Man, put a pin in that.
Okay.
We had a dog named Rome, and we had him since Rome was probably like 2, and he wasn't physically in our household. He was in our house, my aunt's house down the road from us, and we grew up with him, and we come from a background where we look at certain demographics of people. You know, get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That when they have pets, the pet die and they go crazy. They do like funerals for them, dress them up and stuff like that.
It's the whole thing.
And we, you know, us coming from that, look at it like, dang, why they, you know, treating a dog like it's a human or feeding a dog like,
like
you know
all
what I'm
this
saying?
cooked food and stuff. Yeah.
But when you know, raise a dog and
see it from birth,
and you see the dog through its ages, and when it passed away, man, when Rome passed away, I was crying. I was crying but something simple as a dog.
Yeah, it does. You know? It does that.
So Corey, back to you, man. Are you admitting today, man? Are you admitting that you deal with mental health illnesses?
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah, really, but heavy though. You know what I'm saying? Heavy, especially from my traumatic experiences.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and it can be from not just experiences, just from friends too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Friends can bring you a lot of mental problems too, especially if they ain't the right friends. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just seeing a lot of stuff, you know, like, you know, everybody got, like you said, everybody got their own aspects and how they look at it. You know, everybody come from different viewpoints. You know, but as far as me, it's just like you said, being in poverty, coming from like the hood. You know what I'm saying? The ghetto, however you want to call it, like. Just coming from out of there, me personally, just witnessing, just seeing a lot, you know what I'm saying? Firsthand at a young age.
Yeah.
Being 10, 9, seeing certain shit going on. I mean, I my life need to cuss, bro, but for real, like just seeing stuff going on and not saying happen to me, but just seeing stuff happen to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones you grew up with. Y'all had a long relationship, you know what I'm saying? So it could come from that too, you know what I'm saying? Then, me, I play sports too, so that's kind of where it come from too, a little bit.
I feel like sports
what
definitely teach you like a lot of mental stuff, like whether it's and physical too, because you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt. So.
And I definitely got hurt.
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hurt, man. I was hurt, man.
So it's I wanted to treat it like an intervention.
Yeah.
Like what the first step of intervention, being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel as though if you can be honest with yourself, that's the best step. That's the first step. And I feel as though, hey man, admitting, that's why I title it admitting, because if you're not going to admit that you deal with mental health illnesses,
sure,
or however you want to call it, how can you go with the next step of relieving?
Okay.
So that's why I would name this, this episode admitting, and that's why I'm surrounded this podcast on mental health and admitting that we all deal with things, man. We all deal with things, and some might say, look down and like, man, you just, you know what I'm saying, man, you know what I deal with, you know what I'm saying, and just never belittle anybody or what they're going through, because that person, that person might not be strong enough to admit that they deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And, coming from different environments, as in today, one of the dangerous neighborhoods in Norfolk, Virginia, Berkeley, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these young boys wouldn't be able to admit that they deal with mental health.
And a lot of them just don't, they just don't want to talk about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't care to talk about it. That's why they doing all these drugs now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These drugs, they really ain't no coke.
That's coke, yeah.
Yeah, it's coke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That coke, that, I feel like that is a bad way to cope though.
Yeah.
Because there's other things you can do than do that. Because not even knowing you doing it, you hurting your body too.
Right.
You putting a strain on your body, so now your body need it. You know what I'm saying? So it's how you cope with it, but I mean that's not the way. I don't agree with that, and I'm being fully honest, man. I feel like there's other ways you can go around it. Go on walks, go to the gym. You know what I'm saying?
People think that's like, I hate to say this, but like it's another racist thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I'm not gonna do that because look at me. Why would I do something like that? Why am I trying to, what's that gonna do? Like that's kind of.
Yeah. So admitting that's you just have to admit to yourself. Don't continue to lie to yourself and like.
Sometimes someone gotta tell you too. Someone gotta tell you because you wouldn't know. Someone says something to you.
Yeah.
So that's.
Because you would probably, but that's another question, another pinpoint. And as you see, three black grown men come from different areas, walks of life, are able to look in this camera and say, I admit that I deal with mental health illness.
Definitely.
And that's good, fellas. On to the next bullet point. We hear, what are some of the signs of mental health issues that you notice throughout your life?
Like, is this directed at ourselves or just like other people?
It can be other people, but we want to talk about yourself first. So.
I would say for myself, I notice, but let's say, like, somebody is getting on your nerves, or they're doing something you dislike, you know what I'm saying? And you have to deal with that person constantly. And let's say it gets to the point where it's affecting your mood. So now you might you angry at them, you yell at them, things like that. And it's like, you have to realize that and, check that. Maybe that person doesn't need to be around you. I don't know the situation, but you have to find ways to mitigate that person and then ways to just understand that your feelings are gonna fluctuate.
Yep.
And just doing the appropriate things you need to. So it might be getting away from that person. It might be, and if you can't get away from them, just like coping mechanisms. It could be talking to them, saying like, you know, you really bother me when you do X, Y, and Z, and it, you know, so that's for me. Like, I mean, that's just one. I could list many, but you know, just dealing with people that you don't necessarily get along with, and that you have, you know, maybe hostile or not positive feelings towards. So.
And for me, I would say, I noticed I was dealing with certain, you know, mental health illnesses with trauma, as in like flinching or, you know, hearing certain loud sounds and just, you know, flinching and just, you know, staring off into just the abyss, just staring off
in his face.
I could be just probably watching TV and just staring off into the TV and just going through the things that happened in my life, childhood to current, and just people have to just like, Keontae. And I'm coming to and I'm like, God, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, what was I doing? Like, I thought I was literally looking at a TV, and I know it might sound crazy. It might sound like, yeah, that guy has an issue. But that's just me being honest, you know, and, you know, just like just flinching, you know, thinking of past things that happened, and I just break out crying to myself, you know, and just mood swings, you know, my mood swings fluctuate. And I was like, man, why do my mood like, I was just happy, you know what I'm saying? Then an hour or two later, not even that long, just something can trigger me and my mood swing change.
I got it.
And I was like, coming up as a young black man and living in, you know, probably struggling environments, having uncles that, you know, that live that life, that live that street life, and I'm surrounded by that, to them telling me, boy, you tough, bro.
Yeah.
You know, only girls have mood swings.
Yeah.
Girls have mood swings. You'll think, coming from that type of environment, only man, you on your period, girls have mood swings.
For sure.
And I try to like, girls have mood swings, like to ignore it, like, why am I, you know what I'm saying, if my uncle's telling me this.
Because uncles want you to be strong, though.
Exactly.
They want you to be able to go through and not like, they want whatever happened to trip you up, and then you can't get back on your path.
Yeah, but I didn't, wasn't the best way to go about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a young boy dealing with family trauma, dealing with just environmental traumas, and I have men to tell me that help raise me and things of that nature tell me, well, you got mood swings like a girl. You know what I'm saying?
But that makes you want to not like give into those emotions ever, you know?
And that kind of comes from too, like, they weren't taught how to deal with their emotions, your uncles and them.
For sure.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, you can deal with your emotions. You can cry sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good to cry.
Yeah.
Because I know after I cry, I'd be happy after I cry. Because that means, like, I let it out. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I'm still going to be going through what I'm going through in my mind. Like, I feel like it's getting better. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to cry sometimes. Then you can have happy cries, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, like yeah, man.
Yeah, and it was just, you know, just dealing with certain stuff and just noticing different things like that was, and it becomes the norm. Like, oh well, it's my mood swing change, and it can be from anger to sadness, to joyful, and I never really went to get checked for that, but that's another story. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, mental health, especially in the black community, is, and I'm gonna be honest, it's shunned upon. Ain't no shunned upon, frowned upon. Frowned upon. It's looked down on. And I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna be straightforward. In the black culture, mental health illness, mental health is, we're gonna be real.
Sure.
It's not really talked about.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna be honest. It's not really talked about. It's either he crazy, or his mama dropped him on the head, or somebody dropped him on the head, or he just didn't come out right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that young boy is dealing with some trauma. Even if it's trauma, or even if he needs to be evaluated to see if he did,
Sure.
certain mental health illnesses, schizophrenia, bipolar, emotionally disturbed, or ADHD or whatever.
Yeah.
Cause we can put ADHD in.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
part
I'm
of the
saying?
whole
Part of.
everything. Yeah.
So, what about you, Corey? Did you notice any signs of,
Well, signs I get for myself, as in like, I could say like sometimes I probably, not even probably, but sometimes I like just being in the darkness. Sometimes I just like to be in the dark, you know what I'm saying?
I
Cause
can agree to that.
I don't know what it is. It's just that just gave me my time to be like, how can I say, an introvert, like into myself, like, and I like cry sometimes. I cry sometimes, like I do, but it's just like when I'm in the dark room, I kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It just hit when it's that time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. Just when you're going through what you're going through, and then like you had like, I don't know how to explain it, bro. I just know it just hit for me. Like, everybody cool when they jump different, but just when I sit in the dark, it's just, like it just be the
And sometimes you just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Which is okay. You don't know how to explain it, and that's okay as long as you putting it out there and you talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So like that's really a lot of us can notice the signs, and probably some people don't even notice the signs. Some people just probably just think it's just something. Just something.
Yeah.
But if you notice, if you sit back and notice, evaluate yourself sometimes, and just write down some things. Be like, okay, I notice this seems kind of weird. Is this kind of normal? It's not normal, so I know this is something out of the ordinary. Why am I doing this? Why am I acting this way? Why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? And you could probably be dealing with something that you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
On to the next bullet. This is a good one. Did you think it was normal? All the signs, the things you was going through, did you think it was normal for your circumstances?
I would say, because growing up, I mean, just times change. I'd say like in 2025, like everyone talks about to some level, or people are aware of it. But I guess when we were growing up, it just didn't matter your background, just wasn't talked about. So I would say didn't feel normal. So just anything that you might be dealing with, other people weren't talking about it. It's like it felt like you didn't have anything going on, or someone was like crazy. There was like nothing in between. It wasn't like, oh, you could like be having like your parents could be going through something and you'd be having like a bad day at school, and it's like that's affecting your mental health. So it's like nobody was thinking about it like that. They're just like, oh, this kid is they're just acting out. That's all there is to it. But it's like we're not putting them in the crazy, like, or severe, my bad, I should have said severe.
No.
But yeah, so I would say it didn't feel normal. It just felt like you had to, like other people weren't going through it, because no one talked about it.
Exactly.
It wasn't like a thing. It's like if you got in trouble, it's like, oh, you're just acting out, that's it. It's, nothing to it. So I'll say for me, it didn't feel normal. I would say today, like, it's more normal because people talk about what they've been through and just how they got through it or whatever. So
yeah, for me, I'd say in the middle, it felt normal. It felt the norm because I was
like growing up, or just
growing up. As in growing up, it felt normal because that's all I knew.
Okay.
Like I didn't have nobody to tell me, oh, that's why you're going through that.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
this what caused you to go through that.
I got it.
I was young. Even now, like you said, today is not normal now. Now that I'm older, I can tell, oh, this is not normal. But growing up and going through, living in those type of environments and dealing with those type of things and dealing with those traumas when you're young, the young adolescence me, even kind of like towards the teenage years and down, it was normal. It was normal of hearing yelling. It was normal of commotion going on in the household. It was normal of walking outside, you seeing the police chase somebody, you see walking outside, you seeing somebody shooting at somebody, you see, let's say, Channel News 10, Fox 10 or whatever in your neighborhood out Berkeley, out Ocean View, you know what I'm saying, when I was living in Baltimore, you know, it was normal, you know what I'm saying? So now that I'm older, I know that this stuff is not normal. It's not normal. Like, it's not normal to see blood stains, blood trails down the street, you know, down the road. It's not normal for that. Right, it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? It's not normal going to go pick up my younger sister at the daycare, and I'm hearing shots ring off, and I know for certainly, as I think back, I can hear the bullets whistling past me.
That's a crazy experience.
You know what I'm saying? That's not normal.
No, none of that's normal. No. No one should
So,
be there. Nobody.
you know what I'm saying? So we need somebody to tell you at a young age, this is not normal.
For sure.
It's not. So you can know it's not normal, so you can realize it's not normal, and you can start to accept that this is not normal at an early age. To scratch out all of that trauma that you've gone through, like say somebody tell you at a young age, or you have some people that cares about your mental health, that knows about mental health, baby, this is not normal, or young bro, or son, or little brother, or this is not normal. How you feeling is correct. You can feel how you feel, but yes, this is not normal. I want you to know this is not normal. So when you start aging and start understanding, I'm gonna say it lessens your trauma because you know that it's not normal.
Yep.
If that makes sense. I know it but how I'm explaining it probably don't make sense, but that's how I'm picturing it. It's not normal, so you can grasp that, okay, this is not normal. Because when something become the norm, you accept it.
Yeah.
You accept it.
You don't. Yeah, you're not looking to. It's like, okay, this is what it is.
This is what it is. This is what it is for me, you know, and not just to keep talking about, you know what I'm saying, killing or, you know, violence or whatever, because that's a lot what I came from.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from as my, you know, background. This is not just speaking, just for example, this is not normal to see old dude beat his baby mama. So when you get older and you have somebody to tell you that's not normal, you get older, oh, that's not normal, bro. You ain't supposed to be doing that.
Yeah. It's crazy, like, people react to, it's like, if you look in the news or, like, you know, you hear about man abuses girl, whatever, and it's like, you hear people, like, comment, they're like, oh, it's not that bad.
Right.
Or it's like, but nah, that's, like, real bad. Like, you should never be, like, no one should be doing that. But it's like, we've been, like, kind of, I don't want to say brought up to do that, but we've been looked at it as like, oh, that just happens.
Some people like doing it too. Some people get enjoyment from that.
They do.
Especially like girls sometimes too. They think it's because it's toxic. You know, some girls.
It's drama for them.
That's not really how a relationship supposed to be.
It's not.
And to set the record, yes, you hear a lot of men, well, I say abusing women. Women, you abuse men too.
Yes,
it don't have to be physical. It can be emotional, mental.
Cursing you out every day, talking about you're not this, you're not that.
They know how to get underneath your skin.
For sure.
That know, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know, this will make me mad, so why would you even try to push that way? You know, especially if you know me. You know what I'm saying? We know each other. So it can come, it can come from that too.
And just like go back to the normal aspect. I'm talking from what I know, what I came from.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It could be somebody else that come from a 2-parent home, because I didn't come from a 2-parent home. I never had a father figure in my life. You know what I'm saying? I know who my father is, but he was never in my life. So, as an example, this guy such and such, Tom or whoever, he had both parents in his house. Just for example, him and his parents was married. They get a divorce. That can be trauma.
Absolutely. Because
so
the whole world is, you know, like your foundation.
Right. So saying me coming from a different background, somebody else probably have something different that I probably never know how that feels to have a parent break up. Divorce or whatever. So that just goes back to saying something normal. Somebody else from a different background might not have the same, traumas or whatever, but I can understand and respect that norm probably be not norm to them. Having both parents in the household, you seeing them happy, married, and then they get a divorce, and then you have to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? So it all comes into full circle. What about you, Corey, man? You think it was normal what you was dealing with growing up, and as in a young boy, a young man as of today?
Yeah, I mean, how can I say like,
It wasn't normal.
It wasn't normal. It wasn't normal,
Right?
Because who wants to be brought up in that? I mean, especially you want to be brought up the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But did you think it was normal?
nah, I didn't think it was normal. Like, I can see it's not normal. Like,
Right.
I can see, like, I can always just see it in my face. Like, a lot of people not living the life I live or what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Other people come up from different aspects. Like, dad probably got money for it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody come from different aspects. You know what I'm saying? But me, that wasn't normal. Just seeing a lot of stuff from shootings and like you said, you wake up, come outside, you see a dude beating on a girl. It can be anything, just your partners fighting. You know what I'm saying? You're saying like it can be anything. And I don't know. It's just not. It wasn't normal. And I'm like kind of can say like it taught me a lot though. Like it taught me a lot, like the do's and don'ts. You know what I'm saying? With my sons. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, it's a pro and con with it, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, it's a pro and con with it, but no, it's not normal. It's not normal. I don't think nobody would want to go through, the stuff like poverty-wise or in the hood, because in the ghetto. But nah, it's not normal. It's especially when you're so accustomed to it. It's like everything dang, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
So when you was growing up, the younger you. The 8-7-year-old, Ja'Cory, it wasn't normal to you then, or it was normal to you? Because we looking at as in grown men now.
Well, as in that age, that's when I first started seeing stuff like around then. So I know it wasn't normal because, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember so much further back, but I know around 8, 9, 10, like. Yeah, that's when I first started witnessing and seeing a lot of stuff. So it was like crazy at first. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, and then I was more sadder then. Cause now I'm older now, so now I'm so accustomed to it. It's a regular thing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, so for you as young, it wasn't normal to you, but now it's normal to you.
Yeah, like younger, like I can say it changed for me like probably around, cause 8, 9, 10, that's when I first seen it. So it probably really became normal like 14, 13, 15, like up in there, like somewhere up in there, you know what I'm saying? And then, ever since then, I just been, coping with it how I cope with it or do what I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not good, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own different, like you say, coping mechanisms, you know what I'm saying? As long as you try to switch it up, you know what I'm saying? You can't always be stuck there doing that. Like, nah. So, yeah, none of this stuff went normal.
Yeah, so as you see, we all had different, when it was normal, when it became normal, when it was unknown. So, it's up to you, you know what I'm saying, how everyone else feel. For me, growing up, it was normal for me. But now as I got older and wiser, and it became, it's not normal.
Yeah,
it's not normal.
No, it's not.
It's not normal. So, as speaking to all the young men, the older men, different backgrounds, see what's normal and what's not normal. Track when you felt like it was normal, track when you felt like it wasn't normal. And that can help you out a lot too, as in your journey, your healing journey and your relief journey.
For sure.
On to our last bullet point, man. Have you thought or tried to reach out to someone for help? That's a good one.
Yeah, that's. Can I go first real quick? Yeah. Well, at first I wasn't. At first I was not. You know what I'm saying? When I first started going through what I was going through when I, you know, because everything with my mom was all good at first. It wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the best, but for the most part, it was alright. It wasn't that bad. But then when I moved with my uncle, that's when it changed dramatically. Like, that's when I started seeing a lot. And that's the age I'm saying, around 13, 14. When it became normal.
That's your
You know
prime
what I'm
years
saying?
too, just like
So that's the years you
developing.
grasp everything, you fully take everything. Like, okay, 5, 6, you feel even 2, 3, around them ages, like, you don't see how can I say it, like, you know, you have different aspects of ages of your life, you know what I'm saying? So each age, you're gonna see, you're gonna feel me, you're gonna learn and grasp something from each age, you know what I'm saying? But when I was around 13, 14, like, that's when it just fell apart, you know what I'm saying? Everything just was like coming at me fast while I'm trying to play sports, you know what I'm saying? While I'm trying to like stay into the sports, you know what I'm saying? Because I could have went the wrong way back then, but I had a stronger mind than just trying to crash out like the YNs, you know what I'm saying? Crash out, you know what I'm saying? But I had a stronger mind than a lot of people during that time period because I was from Brooklyn to Holly Cove. Like, it was the same thing. It was the same thing over there, you know what I'm saying? It was just, you know what I'm saying? When you the new person in the hood, when I'm coming from my hood to another hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to be around you, you know what I'm saying? Because I was new out there. Everybody want to see what I'm about, see what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? See what's going on with me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of times, like, that, like, you have to show people, not saying it's good, but, you know, when you come out, you know, people want to fight you, you got to handle your business, show people you ain't, you know what I'm saying? But, and that's another thing, too, because why do I got to do that? I shouldn't have to want to do that anyway. You feel me? You should just accept that somebody is who they are. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just off the rip trying to, you know what I mean? Like, people, it's crazy this time. This time is crazy now. Like, people just go off of, you know, I don't know how to explain it. It's just crazy. Yeah. I ain't trying to keep talking.
This is what we here for.
Nah, no cap. It's just, you know. Yeah, just them ages, them 13, that was just a lot then.
So you didn't have nobody to reach out to.
No, I did, but I wasn't until I got more, you know, closer with my brother. I started, you know what I'm saying? Because before I moved, like, we was close, but then, you know, I wasn't seeing my brother no more for the last, like, I would see my brother every once in a while until the end of when I started leaving. He used to be around more and more. Like, he was around, but not for real. Like, when I come on the weekend sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And that's the time bro won't home, you know? So bro don't be home sometimes. He do be home, but, you know? So then I'm still living with man too. I'm living here with my cousins, my 2 cousins and my uncle. You know what I'm saying? I could have talked to them, but, you know what I'm saying? That time when I first moved on 13, 14, I'm just now meeting them. You know what I'm saying? I just met my cousin. Like, it was years before I met them. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So I could have talked to somebody, I just never did until I got a little older.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I felt more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I felt more at ease, you know what I'm saying? Like, because now it's not hard for me to talk about it. You feel me? Because I'm a living witness of a lot of things.
Sure.
So I got a real lot of testimony. I got a powerful story in what I got going. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's real raw. People gonna feel it because I'm gonna tell you how it is. You know what I'm saying? That you really know the real. Because a lot of people don't. People just tell people BS a lot, you know what I'm saying? Not to say I'm cussing it, but people just be telling a lot of people, boy, BS and don't tell them how to really cope with it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot.
And you are fully open to any help.
Yeah, now I am. Now I am.
What about you, Jeff?
Let me see. I had to like revisit the whole question one more time. Let me see. Should reach out. So I would say, I definitely try to reach out. So, I mean, I've definitely gone to see like a therapist before, and it's a real cool experience. It wasn't something that was like crazy wrong or anything like that, but it was just like, you know, I had known friends that, you know, tried it out, spoke positively, so I was like, let me try this. It was cool because at the end of the day, it felt like the things that you feel like, oh, if I talk to this person or that person, they're gonna like, you know, weaponize it, or they're gonna talk about it, and then like, it can be like a relationship. Like, you just like, I need to talk to someone neutral that doesn't know these people, and sometimes you can't do that with people around you because they have all sorts of bias, or they're gonna tell the person, and it's like, you know, so it was helpful. It was really helpful because they were able to just clearly lay out like, okay, like, you know, this person is doing, you know, XYZ, and like they might be playing games, or they might be doing these, you know, mind things, whatever. And it's like, and then you, like me, like you might be doing some things that you could have proved on. Like, okay, you could have said something better to them, and that could have enhanced the relationship, or you know, whatever it might have been. So yeah, like it's cool. I don't think that should be something people should be afraid to do. It's just about doing it, and like how to do it is just there's so many resources. Like you could you know, like through your primary doctor, like, hey, do you know someone, blah blah blah, and then like they can refer you, and you know, they in your network, so you got insurance, you just pay like a few dollars or whatever, you go see someone like once a month, every other week, and like you don't even have to see them, just virtual. It's like
virtual. Yep.
30
Everything's
minutes.
virtual now.
30 minutes, that's it. So
Everything's virtual now. Cold
yeah,
now.
exactly. COVID changed everything.
So
telehealth.
For me, like I was saying, when I was younger, I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know how to reach out. I didn't know that I could reach out to anybody.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we didn't come from, you know, family with money or family with, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, insurance, but like I said, we come from that, you know, black, you know, poverty-stricken neighborhood where we don't talk about it. You know, how like grandparents, you know, older people say, just sweep it under the rug, or, you know, let sleeping dogs lie. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to reach out. I couldn't reach out. I didn't try to reach out. But now that I'm older, I'm older and I'm aware, man, I'm open to it. I'm open to, you know, therapy. You know, I'm open to talking to, how can I say this? You know, getting evaluated. I'm open to it.
Okay.
Because, you know what I'm saying, some people like to say you can't diagnose yourself or whatever the case may be. Hey, I can diagnose myself. I know I deal with PTSD. I know for certainly I deal with it. And not to put it in the air, but I'm being honest with myself.
Sure. I mean, it's a real thing that happens. It's like people, you know, join the military, and that happens. It's like they could have been the strongest, you know, people ever, you know, but just you saw something, so you know, or you had to do something that was like that. So
yeah, so
And it
nothing to be ashamed of.
replays in your head constantly.
Absolutely, you can't escape it.
You can't run from it. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It plays in your head a lot. You know, especially what happened to me, you know what I'm saying? So it plays in my head a lot on an everyday basis.
So yeah, like I'm open to, you know, reaching out for help. Because how can I get all this emotion and all this trauma and all this? How can I relieve it?
Yeah.
And this podcast is something that is another option. Instead of talking to a therapy or whatever, which I can do that, and most likely I'm going to do that.
Okay.
This podcast is something that we can use, all of us men can use, young men, different race, different ages, different backgrounds, it don't matter. We can use this podcast as reaching out, because I can reach out to you, I can talk to you, and I can relieve from you. I can talk to you and I can relieve from you, and I can talk to you guys or whoever that would like to come on this platform and just relieve, bro. Just be able to kick your shoes off, kick your, you know what I'm saying, take that mask off, you know what I'm saying, that mask that you hiding behind.
For sure.
For real, and take it off. You can take it off and you can be yourself, man. So
That's the point.
this is what this podcast is about. His Relief Podcast. You know, we here to, you know, bring a change, and not just in the poverty-stricken environment, not the inner city, not the, you know, want to say the bad neighborhoods. Man, it can be someone that's going through it, that live in Beverly Hills, bro. A young boy, a teenage, or older man that's dealing with mental health, bro. So this is episode number 2, and I would like to give my guest Trevor a thank you for showing up, man. Corey, thank you for showing up. You know, this only the beginning. This is only the beginning, and I would like to give a thanks to, you know, Mr. Shivers for giving us the opportunity to host, you know, episode 2 Meeting His Really podcast at Southside Boys and Girls Club in Berkeley. Yes, we're in Berkeley. We in the trenches. Not to glorify that, but we real men. We real people that deal with day-to-day things. Day-to-day emotions, day-to-day traumas. You know what I'm saying? So we just coming to have this platform as a outreach for any man, any young boy, black, brown, pink, rich, poor, middle class, blue collar, white collar, whatever. Man, you can hit me up, hit Jacoy up, or hit Trevor up, or Trevor, what's your IG? If you're okay with giving
Forever Trevor.
Forever Trevor. What's yours?
My sack runner. I said my You know how I say that. But yeah, those sack runner.
Yeah, so
Yeah, sack runner.
yeah, I would post my IG page and the bio of so we can reach out, and if you want to come and be a part of this,
Come on.
this platform, man.
Well, you need to talk.
Yeah, if you want to talk, you can come. We open arms to anybody, but this strictly for men who's willing to, have an open mind, have an open heart, and open to be vulnerable around men, young boy or whatever. It's His Relief Podcast, Love yourself, be true to yourself, and take care of yourself.
Most definitely.
We out.
That's when the music drop. With the edit.